So I'm up here on the farm truck and I'm working on swapping tires from truck tires to ag tires. These were given to me, and the other one's over there. It's not quite a match set, but they do say the same size on the sidewall, so we'll see what they look like when they're inflated. But either way, it'll be better than a mismatched set of truck tires regardless. So I'm working with this die bar, and I'm breaking the bead loose, and I'll show you how. So normally I guess I would pry like this, and it pushes way out here on the tire, and I kind of figured out earlier that I can come in, wiggle the die bar in, and then actually push the die bar this way, and it's prying the inside of the tire away from the bead just a little at a time. And I might have to work around like twice, but then all of a sudden it just pops loose. So I'm just wiggling and prying it in there. And I can use this side too. And eventually it's going to move. I can see like right here it's touching, but all this here, it's probably moved maybe an 1/8 inch or a 1/16 of an inch. So you can see right there, this spot's still pretty tight, but the rest have there's a pretty good gap. So I'm gonna keep working that tire. And the valve core is out of the valve stem. And so I'm gonna see if I can just keep busting it loose. There, now that that side's done, I gotta come around to the inside and do it in here. Now you might ask, why don't I do this on a tire machine? Well, that center hub, I guess 2 reasons. One, I believe that this right here is a locking taper that's locking this hub or wheel onto the axle shaft. And I've heard of old cars basically needing a brass hammer to pop it off. And I don't remember if you're supposed to just like pry it off and knock it out, but I don't really want to take that off. And then there's no center to bolt onto my tire machine, so I'd still be just doing this on the ground. At least I'm attached to the tractor. I've got a bunch of weight to anchor me down. Okay, now that the inside and outside are both broke loose, I can go ahead and dismount this thing. Now, even though that was kind of a struggle, you could see in that time-lapse clip where I was using these C-clamps to pinch the tire, make it skinny, and that put the inner and outer beads inside that lip, and that gave me enough room to be able to stretch the tire on the other side. So with old hard tires that don't want to move very well, that's a really good way to make that room up. So I'm gonna keep cleaning some of the rust scale off this wheel, and then I'm gonna get that other one ready to mount that tire. And there we go. I ran this up to 14 psi, and now I can let the tire down on that block so I can get my jack out. And all is well. Those look so much nicer than truck tires, whether they match or even if they're the right size or one's different than the other. I don't care. Way better, big improvement. I was able to get those front tires on also today. Those are two-piece wheels with the inner rim that unbolts, and the tires just simply fall right off. You put the tube in, put the tire back on, and bolt it all back together and air it up. So now we're running on, I wouldn't say the correct, but at least proper rolling stock.